Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast with Hogg Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host and friend from Warhog.com, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Good morning, District 40. That's right. That's you, Jennings County. We are live at ATK9 at the Muscatatuck Urban Training Center. We are super blessed to have a fantastic guest, kind of the man behind ATK9. So, Mike Pennington of Storm Dog, go ahead, bud. Tell us what we got going on.
Yeah, man, we got a great conference going on. We had a record number of attendees this year, so we're super excited about that. Food's great.
Oh, yeah.
The evaluations have been awesome for the classes. Mm-hmm. It's real important for us to make sure the dogs are better at 4 p.m. than they were at 8 a.m., right? So we go through evaluations daily. A couple years ago, we did have a company, and that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. So we immediately escorted them off property and put the students in other classes know, that they needed. Yeah, man. So the feedback from the attendees is very important for us, and we take a lot of value in that. Yeah. And ultimately, they're the ones that keep this running, right? And it's here for them. So bringing in the instructors that we bring in, and then ultimately attracting the type of attendees that we want. We're very fortunate because that's what we've done. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you've done a great job. So this is the 5th year running for ATK9. Yes. Been all 5 years out here at Muscatatuck, which is absolute. If you guys haven't seen it, go Google Maps this place. It is fantastic. The things you can do here, the capability this facility gives.
Yeah, the environmentals, it's amazing. From underground tunnels, bus depots, U.S. embassies, hospital settings, you name it, it's here. Even the sunken village and water stuff. So right, so to find the quality and the number of environmental factors to expose the dogs to, this place is awesome. Yeah.
Now there's only one fail point here at Muscatatuck, and that is they do not have on premises a live fire training area. But don't worry, Warhog Tactical Kelley Defense and On the Range podcast, we have found just a couple miles down the road. We've got a range here, so that's where we do our live fire training. So don't think we're just all dog stuff, too. We'll get the human interaction with the firearms involved, but that's really the only thing. If they had a range here, this place would be
top. Yeah, and, you know, as you guys know, especially when it comes to the canine side, since you brought up, you know, firearms training, in my opinion, that's really deficient in the canine realm throughout the United States. Yeah. And ultimately comes down to budget and this and that. And then you have a lot of departments where their only goal is a minimum certification, whatever that certification 100%. May be, right? And you can be certified and have huge operational issues. Yeah. So that's kind of what you guys are here, and we have, you know, the other instructors that we brought in. Like, we want to focus on operations, and again, we want the dogs or the handler skill set better at 4 p.m. than 8 a.m.
Yeah. That's an awesome saying, and you bring up a great point. For those of you kind of not savvy with the canine world, the quote-unquote certification is kind of the ugly qualification for the human side of it, right?
100%.
It's a check in the block that doesn't really prove anything, in my opinion.
Other than the dog could pass some sort of a minimum standard.
It can pass something. Yeah, and each one's a little different. Yes. You know, but it's how do we get that training to these officers? And I'm telling you, you guys, your price point for what you offer.
Oh, dude.
4 days of training, lodging, food. You're not going to find another event that even touches that. Plus your a la carte. How many different instructors did you have this year? 20-something?
I think we were right at 29.
29
this year.
So 29, you know, if you want to say a la carte instructions to pull from.
Correct.
I mean, where else are you going to get that?
Yeah, and we get asked a lot, like, how do you guys determine how many spots you have open? So basically, again, for us, it really depends on the number of instructors that we're able to bring in. One, they have to be of quality. Again, our focus is dogs better at 4 p.m. than 8 a.m. Yep. So they can't train to a system. They have to be able to adjust. And, you know, one instructor might say, hey, I can have 10 and make progress. Another instructor might say, I can do 15. We have some instructors that say only 6, right? So we figure out whatever that number is, and that's how many spots we know we can open up for each year's conference, right? Different from other conferences, like everybody here is working a dog.
Yes.
And that's kind of where we have tried to to step up and actually make progress in it. And we really want the attendees, when people ask them, why are you doing something, all of our instructors, we don't want them necessarily to say, well, I got this from so-and-so company. We want them to have the knowledge to be able to explain why they're doing what they're doing to help out others. So it's almost like a real in-depth or even like instructor-level courses that go much deeper into dog behavior and why they're doing what we're asking them to do.
Yeah.
So
and that's a great point too, because the focus is not only on giving the training. It just seems like we're always training the dog. This is really focusing on handler, so he can actually adapt what he's doing to help his dog, or he can attend our program where the handler can work on his
skill set. 100%, right? And again, there really is no handler certification for firearms when they go from a patrolman to getting a dog, right? They just have their same departmental qualifications. So for me, and I'm big into the firearm side and the flashbang or high-level distraction side training with dogs, if we really look at what is a worst-case scenario for any of our handlers that are here today, the worst-case scenario is one of their officers has been shot and has passed away and laying in the middle of the road, and the suspect, let's say, ran into a woods. Well, if they're there with their dog, they're going to be getting the dog out, getting some backup to go. The problem is, while they're doing that, who else is the department calling in? They're calling in SWAT. So the only difference between a worst-case scenario of a canine deploying or SWAT and that particular scenario is time. So we have to get better at increasing the skill set of not just the dog, but the handler. Right? A basic level patrol skill set, a lot of times it's not enough to deal with what the dog's pulling them into.
They're asked to do a lot.
Right?
They're asked to do a lot.
And Mike, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a huge point. Is you have to look at least what I'm seeing, and if you're seeing something different, please let me know. But I'm seeing a lot more agencies go to the younger handler to try to keep that longevity. So now they're picking a younger officer, doesn't have that much experience. But let's think about it. I know for the world I used to come from, if we're going to chase another human being, they're listening to me because I've got the dog. Hey, this is what I need you to do. Can that, and again, I'm not saying anything against these young guys, but can they be that assertive where if I get let's say a 4-man SWAT team, hey man, you're my cover. I need you two on the flanks. Let's go.
Right. And that, again, that's the challenge. And that's where we're really trying to raise the standard and increase that skill set, especially from a tactics side, like what you guys are teaching for the handlers here, right? To give them that ability to, in a sense, to help direct. When you look at rules and regulations, most departments state when a canine is on scene, they're kind of running the show, right? The problem is they're still operating with a patrolman skill set. So increasing not just the dog's ability, but the handler's ability when it comes to tactics, direction of others, things like that is so important. And I personally feel industry-wide is deficient through in the United States, and we've got to get better as trainers and companies increasing that skill set of each handler.
So
go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just going to say, so you see the deficiency. Where do you think that deficiency lies with the training these guys are getting at the agency level? Is that kind of where you're seeing that main deficiency, or do you think there's some companies out there not giving the whys or not giving the reasons to kind of make these guys better?
Great question. And it's something here that we actually take into consideration when we're looking at instructors to bring in, okay? Necessarily, like, I don't necessarily want to train for that minimum standard. So if your course, somebody's dual-purpose police canine handler course is, let's say, 14 weeks old, the first question is, when are your guys certifying? If they certify the last week of week 14, then that whole time they're working toward a minimum standard, right? Again, you can pass certification and not be operational. So looking at how to get that monkey, in a sense, off the handler's back, get certification out of the way, they can take a deep breath, and what we have found is now they absorb so much more material that's operational because they don't have that certification hanging over their head. So that's something personally for Storm Dog that we have done, is we try to get that certification out. Right now, we had to own a bunch of failures in order to do that. So our program, dual purpose program, used to be 12 weeks long. So at the end of the day, we were bringing in green dogs, and we were trying to train the handler how to train the dog. But yet, if somebody asks me, as owning the company, is timing important when it comes to a dog, what am I going to say? 100%. Yeah, right. So I was putting handlers in situations that they couldn't succeed. They didn't even know how to hold the leash, and now I'm trying to tell them how to train the dog. For my company, on Storm Dog side, we look at it like sending an officer to learn how to shoot a firearm, let's say an AR. Teaches them how to operate it, clean it, and maintain it. Once they go through that, then a department would send them to an armorer school, which teaches them how to break it down and rebuild it, right? We took that same philosophy with our canine program. So are you sending somebody to be an operator of a dog, or you send somebody to be a trainer? It's two different things.
Yeah.
So for us, we fully trained a dog. Now we bring a handler in, and we're focused on operations and how to maintain and increase, right? So again, we did it the other way for so long, and it was something we had to own as a failure. We weren't getting the best product out or equipping the handlers with the best training. Again, we had to own that and figure out a better way forward. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hats off to you for doing that. But, getting back to the conference just for one quick second, are you seeing a lot of repeat attendees to these conferences? Are you tracking that in any way?
Yeah, a lot of repeat attendees. And, we don't spend a lot of money in advertising, so a lot of this is word of mouth. And what we're attracting is, and we're very blessed and fortunate to have these type of people attending, okay, is we're attracting handlers, one, that are very humble. They are very hungry for operational information. They are not afraid to fail because they understand a failure is the first step to fix it, right? Is owning it. And then the other thing is kind of amazing with the vendor day is these handlers are not afraid to come out of pocket to purchase gear to benefit their dog, right? So just the quality of handler that we've been able to attract, we're just very fortunate. That was one thing we all talked about before we opened up AT. And knock on wood, we're blessed to have attracted those type of handlers.
Yeah, it
people.
shows a level of dedication for sure.
You've done a great job. So, Mike, let's dig into a little more on Storm Dog as far as what you're doing, your company, Storm Dog Tactical, as far as the canine training world goes.
Yeah, so I'm real big on the firearms or high-level audible distraction side, right? So we'll just kind of talk about gunfire neutralization. So in the past, I was one, take the dog to the range, there's a firing line, I'm walking the dog behind the firing line, and the dog was either listening or fighting. It was a huge high point of conflict, right?
Yeah.
So when I really sat down, now for us, and for me personally, every discipline you work a dog in, I call it a puzzle. So we'll talk about a puzzle that's titled gunfire neutralization, right? That puzzle has 3 pieces. You have to have all 3 pieces of that puzzle in line. If one of them sideways, operationally, you're going to be deficient. So at the range, the first piece of the puzzle I talk about is decibel of sound, right? So a dog has to be able to handle that. That's one piece of the gunfire puzzle. The second piece is concussion blowback. So a dog may be able to handle gunfire 50 yards away, but now you bring in concussion blowback, it creates a problem, right? So that's a separate piece to being operational when it comes to gunfire. The third piece is the one I messed up for years by taking the dogs to the range, and that was weapon position. Okay, so for a dog to be neutral, I used to always look at it as decibel, sound, concussion, blowback, but I was messing up the weapon position. Now you take a weapon and raise it up. Now the dog would either become real submissive or super aggressive because now that became a cue that a lot of stuff was coming my way, both audible and concussion blowback related, right? So again, everything we do is a puzzle. We separate those pieces, and those pieces all have to be together in order to be solid. If one sideways, operationally you're going to be deficient.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's sound because we've never seen this before. Somebody brings the dog right up to the line, just starts blasting. The dog doesn't know what's up, and then people are getting tagged or the handler's getting tagged, and it's like, dude, you did nothing. And it's no fault of his.
Yeah,
he's just so overwhelmed with what in the world's going on, So it's having that, breaking the pieces down, and that's probably when it comes to gunfire neutralization. That's probably the biggest thing I see. There's no methodical steps to get there. You see some of these agencies. Oh, we're going to make them neutral. You stick them right there in the fire line. Left's ready, right's ready, and the dog goes bonkers. Now, man. hopefully he recovers from it. Well, what if he doesn't?
Right.
Now you got dramas for the rest of that dog's life.
Yeah, which is unfair to put the handler in. And, it's one of these things where one thing I speak about a lot to the students that attend AT for our courses that we're instructing is you have to understand what type of course you're going to as a handler. So are you going to a course that is teaching you a new system to accomplish something? That's one style. Another one may be, are you going to a course that's going to show you nothing but deficiencies? So those would be a lot of scenario-based courses where you're going to see failures. It's important that handlers understand this course is specific to do that, show you deficiencies that next week you can start to work on.
Yeah.
And then there's the third course, kind of like we're doing a detection course this year, where as soon as we see a problem, we're going to immediately fix it, right? So there's the three type of courses here. It's back to the handlers. It's back to the education.
Yep.
It's back trying to get all that together and let them take it back. When it comes to our instructors that we're inviting here, it's very important when we have conversations with them. Look, a handler is only as good as the information that they've had relayed to them. That information's either good or bad, it's operational or it's not.
Yeah.
So it's very important for all of our instructors. They have to put out good info that is operational. And that's why we really take the course critiques or AARs very seriously. Like, that's something we need to occur.
No,
yeah, man.
100%.
And back to even the gunfire side, I've done a lot of I've been a part of a lot of meetings with departments admin, and I'll ask the chief or the sheriff, hey, do you expect your team to be able to handle gunfire? Canine team, of course. What are they going to say? Yes. Now, when I ask them what their ammo budget is for their canine unit, it's crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you went low bid to get your dog in training.
Yep.
Now you have no ammo budget.
Yep.
But yet you expect them to be proficient and operational in both the handler gunfire, their tactics, as well as the dog.
Right.
It's just not theirs, right? So,
but the ammo goes so much further, right?
Yes.
So, okay, that's regular training ammo. Am I getting blanks? Right?
Correct.
Am I doing something like on Sims where now it's a, what do they call it, no noise blank, where now they can at least see something ejecting from the firearm?
Yes.
Right? There's all these different tools. Oh, am I getting suppressors for my rifles?
right.
They don't think about it. They just go, well, we want them neutral. Yeah. But you don't want to put the dollars against to get the dog to that point. And then they look at you like you're crazy when you're going, well, what about this, this, and this?
Yeah. And, the other thing is kind of unique with the gunfire side. So, again, I would always want to know if this particular canine team's attached to SWAT, like, what are your SWAT guys running, right? Well, they're running ARs. Okay. I would always train the dog to handle an AR. The problem is if that AR became my goal, do you ever really get there? I had to own that personally and say, no, that's a failure of mine. So if I know a team is running ARs, I don't want to train the dog to handle AR. I want to train them to handle AK. Now AR becomes easy. It's like you taking somebody with a problem at the range and giving them a .22 pistol, and now they're not flinching. They're not pulling low left. They're not doing these things from anticipation of recoil, right?
Yeah.
So it's really that same type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. One thing that we noticed when the officers come out to our training is I think sometimes it's an eye-opening situation where they actually realize where they're actually at. Like sometimes you can see they're very proud of their dog and all this other stuff, but sometimes they think the dog is not necessarily better than what they are, but they're trained up to a certain level, and they kind of have some self-discovery there about where they're actually at. Do you see that across the board at a lot of the other trainings as well?
100%, and it goes back again to the type of attendee. Like they're humble. They're not afraid to say, I don't understand. I don't know how to do this. Please educate me. Like they're so hungry for operational information for both their dog and them as a unit itself, and which obviously would include the handler skill set.
Yeah.
So it's huge, and we're very fortunate to have those here, and you guys experience them as instructors. Yeah, which is awesome.
Well, we want to know where we can go to see where Storm Dog's at. Is there a website we can throw out there?
Yeah. So you can find a little bit more about us at stormdogtactical.com. We're based out of Sunbury, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a little Midwest town there.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at. And, so everything's going well. And being on the admin side here for AT, very fortunate to have some help on the instruction side, right? So, and that's the other thing when it comes to instructors, even for myself personally, but also the conference. Like, if you're trying to explain something to a handler and they're unable to do that, you should have the confidence to take the leash and get them out of the picture and show them that with the dog. That takes a special type of trainer to be able to read that behavior and have it not end in a negative incident, right? Before, in the past, I'd always give the excuse, oh, the dog's not bonded with me or this, that, or the other. I didn't know what I didn't know. Once I started owning my failures, I really started advancing my abilities with each handler. And that's the other thing that is really big here, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the last thing, ATK9, I think, did I already see the sign posted for 2026? Did I see the dates up there?
It is. I guess they got those locked in, for next year, which has always been something we've wanted to do. There's a lot of moving parts to this conference, right? So with it not being lecture-based, it's more than just having a classroom.
Oh, yeah.
We have some work being done in underground tunnels. We have other work being done rappelling, right? So ensuring that the training sites are available, the safety of the site is available, and then making sure it fits exactly what the instructors need.
So what's the best place people can sign up for the 2026 conference?
To be able to find out more information on that, we're going to hit the ground running next week to start preparing for next year. But it's at atk9.org.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to put the dates in. So you guys are locked in for 2026?
Yes.
I mean, we got them early.
I know. That's awesome, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, everyone who's listening, no matter how you're consuming this, thank you for making us part of your day. Be sure to check out the crew membership over at ontherangepodcast.com. Check that out. You can try it for free. You can join the tiers. You can get some bonus content with Rick and I. It's just a big hit with everybody because, as always, the bonus content continues on the crew members page, Rick.
For the rest of you guys, don't forget, train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.